Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Nicholas Malson, and welcome to my podcast where you and I will hopefully smile once again. If this is your first time listening to this podcast, welcome, and I hope you'll enjoy your stay. If this is not your first episode of this podcast that you're listening, then welcome back, and thank you very much for your returned visit. I truly appreciate that, and thank you for your support. The purpose of this podcast is to either focus on positive things whilst talking about negative ones, or just simply talking about optimistic and nice things that have happened recently. Please keep in mind that I in no way or circumstances ignore bad things. I just want to focus more on good ones. After all, the world is a cruel place, and most of the times it's unjust. But at least we can enjoy sunsets. And I hope you can too. Quick shout out to Anchor.fm. Thanks to this platform, I can distribute this podcast on multiple platforms, including Spotify, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Radio Public, and Google Podcasts. I also have this podcast available on YouTube, but I do publish it manually. If you wish to contact me or just leave a comment, please feel free to visit my YouTube channel. It's literally called Smile Once Again Podcast, with the same logo that you can hopefully see in the platform that you're currently listening to this podcast in, which is that yellow and blue logo, which resembles a smiley face to some extent. If you want to just leave a comment with a chance of it being read out, feel free to post a comment. But if you want to leave a comment anonymously, or you just want to contact me without me reading it out publicly, feel free to send me an email. My email is also pretty simple, smileonceagainpodcast@gmail.com. That's smileonceagainpodcast@gmail.com with no special characters, no capital letters, nothing, just one word. Nothing unusual with that at all. And just specify whether or not you want to make this a just anonymous comment, or if you just want to contact me without me reading this out in the episode. Okay? Hopefully that way we can secure your anonymity as much as possible. Okay, without further ado, let's begin the 6th episode. And I hope you will enjoy. Okay, by the time I'm recording this podcast, it's 4:15 p.m. or 4:15 in the afternoon. It is the 14th of November 2021, yet another Sunday afternoon. November is already halfway through. Time flies fast. It's absolutely insane. And yeah, just another Sunday, so let's get on with it. Right, so I would like to begin with a special thanks to someone who has left a comment on my YouTube channel, especially on the previous episode, which I called Addictions. If you want to get more context about the following comment that I'm about to read out, feel free to listen to that episode. It should be available now. But the comment is coming from a good friend of mine by the name of Michael. And Michael, if you hear this, once again, thank you so much for leaving this. These are really kind words. And as I've mentioned this to you personally, I think that what you have written down is going to help others as well. So if you don't mind, I would like to read it out. And hopefully these words that he has left will help you out should you be in a similar situation that I was last week. Okay, here it goes, and I quote, "Brother, knowing you for a long period of time and being one of the closest friends to you, I can say that you are definitely not a self-centered or egotistical person completely. The simple fact of you caring for how other people feel and being the first one to ask a person about how they are doing or feeling dismantles the basis of any possibility for you to be selfish. And even during the podcast, I really wouldn't tell that you are speaking solely about yourself. It is rather a light philosophical discussion of things in life, but viewing them from your perspective. Though I can definitely see the point in this statement. I hate bragging or highlighting how I achieved something, especially if it came more naturally, and I am really not willing to seek the sense of momentary admiration, which I sometimes fall for, but I really think we shouldn't underevaluate the importance of one's persona. By saying that, I imply that you shouldn't be guilty for expressing how you feel or what you think, and you don't have a single problem with it. As for me, I always try to keep my words more humble and think twice before I say anything that would express unnecessary pride. But a good piece of advice for each of us would be to still not keep our values, views, and opinions be stumped by someone's arrogance or impact of disagreement with mass narrative. And I also usually feel about other people bragging or expressing me how they are so proud of themselves without any results to justify that. So keep your soul strong and let your expressions go first through your inner peace of mind. God bless you. Keep it up. God bless you too, Michael. Thank you. When I first read this comment, I felt warm emotions. I felt the warmth. These words, or words similar to that, are the ones that each person sometimes needs to hear. This kind of moral support, especially, if you have not been talking to people a lot, or if you're just going through difficult times. And when Michael has written this down, and just to let you know, it was on his own will. I did not ask him to do anything. It was his personal decision to write this down. I think he can confirm that. And it really means a lot to me. But I think I can hear and see what he's trying to say. Because I am attempting to practice the position of altruism as much as I can. I want to care about others more than I care about myself. But I think in this particular circumstance, what I need to keep in mind is that it's not the importance of caring about others that matters. What matters is the balance, because you matter as well. Others matter too, but you matter as well. So it's not simply just about giving and giving and giving. You also have a full right to take as well. And I personally believe that when everyone understands this, then I think people will treat each other better. I'm not saying that anybody is treating me badly. I think the contact I have with others is pretty good. I'm just saying in advance that perhaps it is worth just listening to each other and caring about each other on equal levels. Keep yourself in check and help others keep themselves in check as well. That kind of stuff. And I love the last phrase that he mentioned, or one of the last phrases. Keep your soul strong and let your expressions go first through your inner peace of mind. Your mind is linked with your soul is linked with your mind, and when you have these cathartic moments, when you just want to express yourself, when your mind and soul is linked, then expression is genuine. You don't just express yourself without logic or without passion. You use both, and when you use both, it just feels powerful, and the people tend to listen and care more. So, Michael, once again, I think I can say this on behalf of other people who hopefully listen to this. Thank you very much, and returning the favor to you, may God bless you as well. And honestly, I'm just happy reading comments like this. So feel free to leave comments as well. If you have something to say, um, just yeah, let's have a conversation. Let's get this socializing thing going, I guess. But yeah, that was a decent start, I think. The other thing I wanted to mention today is the subject of a burnout. Um, because I have a suspicion that last week was another hint of a burnout that I have been experiencing for quite a long time. The thing is that I do have good moments when I, recover from burnout. Then burnout comes back and then you fight again. So it's basically the constant cycle. But I've been noticing recently that my battles against the burnout are becoming much more efficient, and I come out victorious more frequently. Um, Burnout is a terrible thing. It certainly is. It just makes you feel like you're doing everything in vain. Nothing makes sense. You just get exhausted much quicker. You just get annoyed too quickly. Your patience just runs thin much faster when you're doing something you've been doing for such a long time. And there's not a usual it's not an unusual thing I meant to say, um, because everyone experiences that at some point. Either you just have a job that just feels a bit too monotonous, or you just feel like your life in general is not having enough colors. Um, I would like to share my thoughts on how to actually combat this feeling. Perhaps others will find this useful. And I don't want to say that, this is like true and it will help everybody, because I think every single person has their own, positions in life, or how they think, or how they work, or what they do, and etc., etc. But if my advice helps at least someone, then, that's pretty much a good start. So yeah, first things first. I think you need to realize that even the small things that you can change, or small changes in your day-to-day basis, can actually make each day more interesting. I mean, of course, I can say the obvious. Oh, change your hobbies, or do something new and stuff. No, um, sometimes, like some people don't understand is that some people, they don't have a choice, or they're not able to change things so drastically and such. Like, they have to do some things that they are doing. Um, but if they change things, they do things, or they change the way they do things, or change the atmosphere that they do things in, then even just like smallest things, it doesn't have to be necessarily moving to another city kind of levels of changing things. No way or circumstances I'm talking about that. But if I'm talking like a good example I can give, actually something that I have tried to do recently, is changing the playlist during work. Because the story I have to tell you, the like some like it's nothing against anybody in this case. It's just how it is. The radios that you have to listen to, or when you drive or anything like that. The radios, they don't really have a variety of songs sorted out. Like, it's just the same top 40 songs that just keep repeating themselves every day, and those songs, they're just not as inspiring. So what I did at some point is I've just decided, what, it's been a while. I wanted to let others just try and listen to what I listen to. And what I eventually did is I just put my playlist in at the beginning of the morning. And, some people said that my playlist was really good. And actually, it made my work much more efficient. So I've been a bit more energetic. I've actually done things quicker. And I just didn't feel as burnt out anymore. and less stressed. I mean, of course, different people have different taste in music, of course, but sometimes just worth getting into something different. So it's just an example, like uh, when you change something like this during your daily routine, uh, you just feel different, you know? Also, I think returning to the previous episode, when you're battling an addiction, for example, battling addiction is very challenging, but what helps is when you have the urges of submitting to the addiction, you just distract yourself with something else. So when you distract yourself, you are changing your schedule, you're changing your pattern, you're doing something different, you know? Uh, and that actually can help you into getting into a new pattern, which should hopefully help you relieving the burnout that you have. Um, what else? I mean, I don't want to repeat myself because I keep mentioning this, every single time I can, really. But Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you just feel like everything is not working out, just start from the beginning. Try to identify exactly what is wrong and tackle it. And when you do tackle it, you just move on. And yeah, I think that also helps because I sometimes have not been feeling like my foundation has been strong. And now, following Maslow's hierarchy of needs, things are becoming clearer to me, and many more things make more sense. And yeah, so try that as well. I mean, of course, meeting new people and such helps as well. You can get more perspectives and learn more about life from other people. Excuse me. But sometimes you just don't have an opportunity to do so. You may just be extremely busy with other things. It happens. It's absolutely normal. But when you have an opportunity, feel free to talk to new people. And that's pretty much my perspective on it. This has helped me out, and I hope it will help you too. But again, leave comments, tell me what you think, and hopefully my advice will help at least someone. Um, right, so that's sorted. Last thing I want to share with you guys is music. Well, not my music, um, like my interest in music, I guess. Um, because the previous point that I have mentioned about using my playlist for background, um, it's kind of linked to something that I've been doing recently. If you remember, those two who have listened to my podcast before, I've been creating a list of the bands that I'm listening through, and then I kind of write a feedback about these groups. Well, I'm not. I don't think I've actually mentioned this directly. I think, if my memory is correct, I mentioned something called the activities randomizer. And the way I do it is I write the activities I'm thinking of doing, and if I'm indecisive of what I actually want to do right now, I roll the dice. I'm doing the same thing with the music bands that I am currently listening to. I have like about 300 bands to catch up with. And yeah, when I listen through the whole, studio discography, like official discography, not including compilations, live concerts, and stuff like that, I then write a feedback about this band. And what I was thinking about doing, just like to make a segment of this podcast, whenever I've got enough content for that, I just want to give just quick uh, feedback about some bands that I have managed to listen through. And perhaps this will, help others to find new music in case if you are looking for something interesting. Or again, if you want to change your pattern or maybe just diverse your taste in music. Um, as an example, actually, I have recently, finally, after many weeks of just trying to listen through the whole discography, I have finally had an opportunity to listen to Frank Sinatra. I have had this in my plans for so long, and I just kept either ignoring it or just forgetting about it because, just want to get some other things done. But I managed to do it, and oh boy, I did not realize his discography was so large. At least 46 official studio albums, right? It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But I've listened through it. My original plan was listening to at least 2 albums a day, one album per each trip to work. But that felt like it's gonna take ages. So what I was doing instead is I was, like playing a video game whilst having Frank Sinatra in my background. And that helped listening through it much quicker. And I have to say, Frank Sinatra's discography is absolutely amazing. I mean, his music in general was absolutely spectacular. The instrumentals are absolutely fantastic. His vocals were pure. They were just. It felt like as if he was actually singing from his heart and soul. Like he actually cared about what he was composing or singing or performing. It's great. It's absolutely great. And especially his Christmas albums, because, winter is coming, Christmas is very soon. Putting his albums, or at least some of his songs, into Christmas discography would be an amazing idea. Although I don't think lots of people will listen to this. Instead, they will just put that Mariah Carey song again. Yes, I made you think about that. You're welcome. Trust me, I'm in the same boat as you guys. That song is. Don't get me wrong, the song is great, but Jesus Christ, when you just think about that song, it's just, oh boy, here we go again. Here we go again. But yeah, that's pretty much my idea. So if you guys are interested, let me know. I mean, I may eventually do this anyway, and hopefully this will, make this episode a little bit more diverse, or episodes rather. But again, it will depend on like when I actually have enough content for that particular segment. So yeah, I don't guarantee it will be done like in the next episode. No, actually, I think I have enough content for the next episode. But when I'm done with that, I think I'll just need some time to listen through more bands so I could have enough work for the next one. So yeah, I hope this is okay. I hope you will enjoy it. And let's see what the future holds for us, for it always keeps our secrets. Well then, another episode is coming to an end. And I think I may have been a little bit more, well, I don't want to say hyperactive, but hopefully what I've been talking about makes sense. And I hope my advice will help someone. And I know I've said this many times already, but it's always nice to say it one more time. Thank you, Michael. And I do hope that your comment will encourage someone and just make their lives at least a little bit better. For small changes also matter as well as the big changes. Well then, it is time for me to say goodbye one more time. Thank you once again for listening to this episode as well as the other ones. Just a reminder, if you want to make a comment or send me an email, visit my YouTube channel, Smile Once Again Podcast. My email is smileonceagainpodcast@gmail.com. No special characters, no uppercase, all lowercase, one word. Should be easy. And life is a cruel place, but at least we can enjoy the sunsets. I'm Nicholas Malson, and I hope I will speak to you again next Sunday. Have a great week, and have a great evening, and goodbye.